Welcome everyone. I am going to invite you here to another episode of series What the WoT or What the What, whatever you prefer. Here, this one, I'm gonna address 5 issues or WoT related to Onslaught in 2024. I'm Gerald and let's start. First, WTF is related to progression system. This thing is completely not designed to satisfy players such as myself. I'm average, working full-time, and I don't want to spend money on wargaming products, which in consequence have 2 effects. I cannot waste too much time on this game. Well, I do have lives outside of World of Tanks, and I cannot really spam premium or gold ammunition, whatever you like to call it, because those credits are running very quickly out if you do not have a premium account, and that premium account comes very scarcely throughout the event. Progression, unfortunately, gives me not enough points on plus for victorious battles to overcome the amount of points that are deducted after lost battles, despite the fact that most of the battles I am playing above average than my team. Yes, I'm not progressing very much. From the beginning of the event, I've been experiencing bumpy ride up, lose some, drop some, and then there is a streak, which I'm probably going to be addressing later on, which kind of resets all the progress, and that is pretty bad and pretty disappointing for the players like myself. Obviously, if you are exceptionally skilled player and a player who loves to throw money at wargaming, that point would most likely not include you. But I know there is plenty of players such as myself, and definitely they would like to address that point for sure. Second WTF in 2024, well, February 2024, is the rewards. The rewards are basically somewhat disappointing, and I would like to highlight that for the players such as myself. I have been dropped after the qualifiers, so that's not a qualifiers, that's the qualifiers, and then there is Iron League or Iron Rank. Yeah, that's Iron Rank. After Iron Rank, you have Bronze Rank, and then you have Silver, then it's Gold, Champion, and Legend League. I don't even know how to get there. But after qualifiers, I've been dropped into a Bronze League, and since then I was just been waffling between to being the top of the Bronze A and being at the bottom of Silver constantly. The thing is that if you manage to only achieve and complete Bronze, you only get 1 improved equipment. But if you gonna get Silver, you're obviously gonna get 2. But if you achieve Gold, then through buying them for bonds, you can get for 6,000 the most precious piece of equipment at the moment, which is improved compressor. Some people like to call it turbo. I'm calling it turbo, definitely. Or improved final drive, which is improved rotation mechanics, like the most overpowered version of rotation mechanics. And I would like to have it, and I believe that, you know, that could be potentially possible if progression system will be designed for me. But the way I see it is those reward systems are being basically dangled in front of me. Pay money, spam gold, waste your life, and maybe you're gonna get rewarded. Well, sorry. Here I just have to give you a middle finger. I'm just gonna stay where it is, and I'm gonna move on. So rewards are no. Third, what the WT relates to vehicles, and there is a reason why I've got on screen this one. Some people like to call it a shit barn, some people like to call it a box tank, some people like to call it, like my friend, a babaha. That's the one from Ukraine, unless Russians are calling it the same, I don't know. But basically, Players, way too often than I would like to, and many more people would like to, are choosing a large amount of them to the battle. I've participated in a battle when there was 4 of them, and obviously that was my battle lost, unfortunately. And another class of vehicles are the light tanks. Sometimes players also trolling, and again I participated in the battles when there was 4 light tanks and my team absolutely lost, I believe, because of that. Unfortunately, this amount of vehicles has not been restricted. I would definitely recommend it, not remove it, but definitely restrict it. So 1 light tank per battle and 1 those big guns. There was other one, British one, whatever it's called. It should be restricted. That's my opinion. Additionally, to that point, I would like to mention that there is a class of vehicles that is not included in Onslaught. Those are reward tier 10 tanks, and I understand that there is a famous Ebola, which is object 200, whatever the hell number you can imagine, chieftain, and maybe object 907, yeah, that was 907, and maybe I would include object 260, but there is plenty of more special vehicles, reward vehicles, tier 10 reward vehicles, that can be included, and they're not overpowered, they're actually balanced, they're not game breaking, and it will be actually pretty nice to have a little bit additional diversity over there. I would just definitely allow Wargaming to cut the bullshit and just admit the fact that there is only 3-4 overpowered vehicles that they should be not including in those events, and stick to it and allow the rest that are fairly balanced into those game modes. Fourth, what the WT relates to the vehicles that Wargaming is making available to all the players in Onslaught. I'm talking about those 3. I think it is a tradition now, every edition of Onslaught, Wargaming is allowing 3 vehicles from Tech Tree, reward version 7x7 in Onslaught to all the players. And this is a very bad idea. Let me explain you why. Let's go and compare CS 63. I know it's not. I know it's CS or CS, but I'm just calling it chess because I just like to do that way, in a Czech way. There you go. Oh, not there you go. There you go. Where is mine from tier 10? There you go. So, you see how my one is looking like. Fully loaded crew with loads of skills. I know there are players that have their crews skills even higher than mine. Obviously, improved equipment in place and all the rest. And you have to remember about field modifications. Those vehicles that are made available to sometimes players that maybe have the 1 tier 10 tank or have no tier tanks whatsoever, they don't have that. They have only 100% trained crew with no any other skills or perks, however it's called these days, no improved equipment, and no field modifications. All of that as a package gives them a pretty much worse odds against the players that have all of it. That's why if you have one of those players in your team, well, you know that there is someone that is not going to do very well. And I think Wargaming should change it. I know you try to include everyone, but do it in a smart way. At least players who do have tier 10 tanks and they owned it themselves and they actually got it in a garage, and they can play Onslaught this way, because otherwise, well, you're not gonna create a very good experience for them and for the others. And plenty of times in a battle chat, I've seen players not being very happy that someone is taking one of those 7x7 tanks. So let's move on to the last one. This one goes to streaks. I don't know what it is, and you can actually shove me between the list of the people that's, you know, the theorists. But the streaks, how comes there are those very, very long losing streaks? And I know that I'm not the only one who has experienced it, because players that I'm playing with, they have exactly the same. Out of nowhere, you kind of, you know, 2 up, 2 down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 3 down. You kind of going that way, and out of nowhere you have streak of battles where 2, 3, 4 minutes and your team is done. Nothing you can do. It's a wipeout, execution, and it goes on for like sometimes 8, 10, 12 battles. That was the longest, and it's pretty hard to understand. Maybe I am feeling paranoid, but it's only I don't have any statistics obviously to prove it, or any tangible evidence, or any studies. Don't have enough time to actually running that kind of things. There are probably content creators that would be able to do that and correct me, but the way I feel, and a lot of players feel, that those streaks are way too long and they do frustrate the you know, crap out of me and others. I don't know why it's that happening. Maybe some people were saying to me that I am just basically noticing more losing streaks rather than winning streaks. But my winning streaks were maximum 6, though losing streaks were like 12. It's something that I am basically struggling to understand. It is what it is. Let's move on to the bonus. And as a bonus, I would like to mention that thumbs up to Wargaming for removing the artillery from the Onslaught. I know that's not the first one, but previously I was whining and moaning about it, so I just thought to myself that it would be fair to actually give them a credit for changing something for positive. I definitely think that was a good move. I was asking for it, I believe other players were asking for it, and we got it, so well done Wargaming for that. Another good thing is that it's actually something different, though not so different and good enough to be better than what was there previously. Ranked battles, I think it was set up much more balanced way, the rewards were much more achievable, and there was no those stupid bonuses and zones to collect. I think different game modes are much more enjoyable. The only reason why I was playing is just to get the rewards and get some tanks fitted with field modifications. For example, I completed pretty much all the experience for field modification on E4. The TD that I would normally not play very much in random battles, because most likely my win rate will drop really to embarrassing levels. I'm not performing with those kind of TDs very well. There was also some more tanks. I think, as far as I remember, there was, I think, Minotauro that I completed, and there was one of the objects. Where are my objects? My objects are here, so definitely objects, regular objects 2, 6, 8, and also the M5Y, I'm not sure is that the name of it, I'm just calling it that way for the moment, and Force B. So yeah, when I noticed that after playing a meta tanks, I'm not getting anywhere, as I'm being dropped into Bronze League, I'm just staying in the Bronze League, I just decided, you know what, I might as well just play those tanks to gain some experience and hit the random battles with full field modification or field retardation, whatever it's called. I don't think it's necessary in the game, but you know, with those little bonuses, and that will basically allow me to have this little edge potential over my enemies, or being equal to my enemies. That's what Onslaught was good for. Another absurd that I found is the fact that, despite the fact that I used to try to play meta tanks, I wasn't really going up much higher than playing tanks that are not considered being meta, and definitely they are underwhelming, such as Object 2, 6, 8. That's kind of bizarre. And to wrap up, I would like to ask you guys, what do you think about the items that I mentioned in this video? What do you think about it? And I think, what can we suggest to Wargaming? Because I believe when it comes to this game mode, they do listen. So maybe they're going to improve something in the future. And I would like to know, maybe you have some other suggestions I can include in that WoT, well, what the WoT videos. And for now, that is it. I'm Gerald, and I will see you next time. Oh, by the way, if you really want to, you can subscribe and leave me a thumb up or down on your way out. For now, cheerios. Bye.